King Arthur and his legendary Knights of the Round Table gathered around their round table to share their wisdom and probably talk about chivalry and stuff. The round table itself was a symbol of equality and unity. No knight sat at the head of the table. None held precedence over another, fostering camaraderie and mutual respect. Well, I stole that idea. The retro round table is the same freaking thing, but instead of chivalrous knights bragging about valor, it's a bunch of nerds talking about old video games. And lucky for you, this isn't a one-off. I have 5 episodes in the works, with potentially more to come after that. I brought together a handful of the most noble retro dweebs for this first episode. Check out this star-studded cast. We have Mr. Sujano, Adin Walls, the Phawx, Retro Breeze, Stubbs from Retro Handhelds, Retro Game Corps, Joey's Retro Handheld, the Retro Tech Dad, special guest Zoo from Zoo Reviews, and me, TechDweeb. Hello! The topic of this first episode is, what is your personal retro hidden gem? And because this is a roundtable, I'm not going to pick favorites, so let's put everyone's name in a hat. This is my actual hat, by the way. I wear it to impress all the old ladies at the bowling alley. Alright, who do we have first? Let's see. Oh, look at that. None other than Mr. Sujana. Sujana? That's not right. Sujano. There we go. Phew. Dodged a bullet there.
Hello.
Oh, hey, there he is. What about it? Do you have a hidden gem to share with us?
When I really think about this one, I'm cheating a little bit, but I've got 3 hidden gem games, and I'll go over them in rapid fire. Interestingly enough, they're all for handheld systems. 2 are fighting games, and 1 is a racing game. The first one here might not be everyone's cup of tea, and that's Street Fighter Alpha Warrior's Dreams for the Game Boy Color. This one is a simple game. It's not deep in terms of fighting games, but in my opinion, it's one of the best, if not the best, fighting game on the platform. It's awesome in very short bursts. It's simple, it's straightforward. If you've got 10 minutes, it's a great game to kill some time with. The second game here is SNK and Capcom, The Match of the Millennium. This one is a fighting game on the Neo Geo Pocket. It is awesome. There is a whole lot to it. It's got a big roster, a lot of different modes. It came out in 1999, and I think it recently came out on the Switch. You can always check it out for a few bucks. It's an awesome fighting game, and in my opinion, one of the best on that platform. The third game here is a racing game, Ayrton Senna's Super Monaco GP2 on the Sega Game Gear. It's an awesome racing game. I think it holds up even today. I have a lot of fun still playing this game, and it was released back in 1992.
Those are freaking awesome choices. I literally didn't know about any of those. Definitely gonna try all those as soon as I'm done here. Now let's see weeby. Who's next? Joey. Hey, Joey.
Hi.
All right, let's hear it. Hidden gem retro game. Go.
I'm so basic. This is going to be a tough one for me. So obviously a lot of people know that I love Pokemon. That's not a hidden gem at all. But would Harvest Moon Back to Nature be considered a hidden gem? I don't know if a lot of people know the original Harvest Moon games and all that, but Back to Nature is one of my favorite games of all time. And if it isn't a hidden gem, then I don't know, maybe something like Uniracers for the Super Nintendo. Used to play a lot of that as a kid. Or Body Harvest for Nintendo 64. That was really good. I'm looking at a list. I'm trying to figure this out. Dragon Warrior Monsters. Definitely not a hidden gem. I don't know why I thought about that. This is a hard question. How do you classify hidden gem? Because even the dweeb got in trouble for what he thought was a hidden gem and was not a hidden gem. So I'm too basic for this question. Let's go on to the other one.
Hell, you had to point that out, huh? Yeah, I got in trouble for my so-called hidden gem of Wild Arms on the Super Nintendo. I don't care. I still think it's a hidden gem, but Body Harvest, that totally counts. Good answer. And it's gonna be Russ from Retro Game Corps. Hey, buddy.
Hello.
I like that enthusiasm. All right, retro hidden gem. Go.
Now, I don't know if this was a hidden gem, but this was kind of rare when I was a kid. It's called Shadow the Ninja for the NES, and we were the only people that I knew that actually had this game. And so we were kind of the cool kids on the block. People would come to our house to play this game. It is a 2D platformer that is weapons-based, and so you can do like weapons upgrades and stuff. It reminds me a lot of the Batman game on the NES, if you ever played that, and kind of like Ninja Gaiden, but not quite as acrobatic. Now, one of the things I loved about this game is that there were cheat codes embedded into it, and you could use those to warp to different levels at the beginning beginning of the game. And so that was perfect. If we wanted to jump like halfway into the game, we just wanted to finish it, we could do that right then and there. And so that was really handy as opposed to starting from the beginning every single time. Shadow of the Ninja also has a 2-player component, which is super important for me growing up because there were 5 kids in my house. And so that was always very important. Anyway, if you've never played this game, I would definitely recommend checking out. It's a lot of fun.
Someday, Russ, you and me, 2-player Shadow of the Ninja. Let's make that happen. Into the hat we go. Stubbs. Hey, Stubbs.
Oh, hey there. What's going on?
Oh, not much, making a video about hidden gem retro games. You got any of those?
All right, this is an easy one. My favorite hidden gem retro game has to be for the PlayStation 1. It's called Apocalypse, and it stars the likeness of Bruce Willis. Now, this was created by Neversoft, and actually, this is the engine that was created that was later used in Tony Hawk, in the first Tony Hawk games by Neversoft. And it is a highly underrated gem. It's a run and gun, so you use the directional, use the DualShock to point your gun one way, and you just start firing away. And the jumping is cool, and you like randomly have bombs that you blow up and you don't get hurt, and just the baddies are good, the levels are good, the bosses are good. It's just an awesome use of early PlayStation 3D technology. And the whole time you're playing the game, you have the likeness. You're basically Bruce Willis saying a bunch of catchphrases like, oh, this one's gonna hurt, and just a bunch of ridiculous like Die Hard style catchphrases. I have beaten the game, I think a few times now, and I'm gonna go play it again. It's one of the first games I test out when I'm playing some of these retro handhelds. So just highly recommend Apocalypse for PS1.
Okay, I'm impressed. Apocalypse. I'd never heard of it, and I checked it out, and I instantly loved it. That's a good answer, man.
All right, goodbye.
Bye-bye. Aw, man, it's the Phawx.
Hello, everyone. My name is the Phawx.
This guy knows what's up. You got a hidden gem for us, the Phawx?
Mm-hmm.
Ha, awesome.
So the hidden gem retro game that I often recommend, and I'll be recommending once again, and this is a game that I really think a lot of people should play, and a lot of people pass by it all the time, and that is Final Lap Twin for the TurboGrafx 16. You can be remiss by thinking that it's just going to be a standard ho-hum racing game, but in fact, there is a secondary mode that is, for all intents and purposes, a racing RPG, and that's the story mode, which is the secondary feature of this game, which is hilarious to me. So when you play the racing RPG part of this, it is very much a racing game with Pokemon type of trappings. So same type of thing. You get there, your dad is like, okay, son, it's time to go out there and be a world racing champion. And you just set out, and you're in your local city first, and you go to race your local champ first. And if you can't beat them, you have to like go into rando encounters like you would for other RPGs, and you beat them, get money, buy parts for your car. There are 5 different types of parts for your car, and these are technically the attributes that you would have for your character, but they're for your car. So your car has top speed, acceleration, tires, wings, and nitro. That's basically the RPG aspect of it. So you're building up your attributes for your car to go and race against local champs to beat them. And it's so well done how they do it, just following the very simple formula like Pokemon does, eventually getting to the World Championship, and then just playing through it. It's not a terribly long game, but it is very, very rewarding. Insofar as one of the first racing RPGs that I think ever happened, and a lot of people miss. They often think of the PlayStation 2 racing RPG or PlayStation 1 racing RPG as being the first racing RPG. I believe Final Lap Twin technically is the first. And a lot of people skip it, and a lot of people miss out on it. It is a fantastic game, but just give it an hour, and the game is super charming, and I think you're going to actually love to play it. Also, last bit here is 2 years ago, I had put in a request on Retro Achievements to get Retro Achievements to support Final Lap Twin. Someone recently took up that request and finished it, and that is now in the mainline Retro Achievement set. So if you were looking to use Retro Achievements for Final Lap Twin, it does exist now, so you can get a little bit more fun if you are using Retro Achievements.
Wow, what a freaking interesting game. Yeah, I got to admit, I would have looked at that and thought, well, whatever, just a cheesy old drag racing game. But you sold me. I'm 100% going to play this. All right, back in the hat. Who's it going to be? Adin! Nice. How's it going, Adin?
Hello.
Hi. Thanks for being here. And thanks for hopefully giving us a hidden gem.
Everyone knows at this point that I love Darkwing Duck, and that still is pretty much a hidden gem. A lot of people don't know about it, and it's got some really good pixel art. But the other thing where there are a lot of sort of hidden gems that you can start looking for are these really simple, not puzzle games, but quick pick up and play games on the Game Boy system. And so I like Cat Trap, that's one of them, but the main one I really enjoy is Qix, Qix. And it is a very popular game, but I think a lot of people still don't know about it, so that's my hidden gem.
Oh my god, Adin, are you serious? Qix! I had that game. I played so much Qix. Dude, first Darkwing Duck and now Qix. We both played the same obscure games. What is even happening? And next up we have, me. Hi, TechDweeb. Hello. How you doing? I'm pretty good, pretty good. All right, you handsome devil. What hidden gem do you have for us? Okay, I'm confident that I have a real hidden gem. A freaking awesome game that you will love, and I guarantee you've never played it. The game is called Capture the Flag, and it's a DOS game. And you can play this on retro handhelds just fine, FYI. So it's Capture the Flag, but as a turn-based strategy game. You have a squad of kids and each one has stats. So some are fast and some are stealthy and some have good vision. Some are agile and hard to catch. You can change their stance and the stance affects your abilities. So crawling is slow but good for stealth, and standing lookout is bad for stealth but good for vision. There's tons of maps and scenarios, different ways to play. The maps are freaking huge. The world is divided in two and your flag is hidden and your opponent's flag is hidden. And you need to send out your guys to scout the area, hide from their lookouts, run fast when they're spotted and try to find where the flag is hidden, get the flag and run away with the flag. There is a vision system in the game that is affected by the terrain and so is your movement. So stealthy guys can creep through the forest and fast guys can run super fast out in the open or on paths. You need to develop some strategies of where you're going to put your lookouts, who's going to explore the enemy territory versus who's going to stay and defend. Real strategies. When I was a little dweeb, I was in Boy Scouts and we played a ton of actual Capture the Flag. And this game feels exactly like real Capture the Flag. All the real strategies of not getting your fastest guys to do the flag runs because you need fast guys to catch the guys on your side, of stealthy guys sneaking through the trees so they're not spotted, having a guy run out as a diversion to draw the defenders away. It's all here. You can find this easily online if you look. I had the shareware version of this back in the day and I loved it so much that I saved up my allowance and bought the full version. Mom had to mail in a check and then we got the floppy disks in the mail like a month later. And I was just so happy because I love this game. All right, best answer yet. Let's hear it for TechDweeb. Yay! Moving along, we have, let's see, the Retro Tech Dad. Hey, Rob.
Hi, what's up?
Oh, not much, just thinking about some retro hidden gem games.
Over the years, a hidden gem that for me has always stood out was always Katamari. And Katamari for me, when the first time I ever played it on PlayStation 2, it just blew me away. It was this incredibly Japanese, over-the-top, really wacky concept, amazing music, story was just ridiculous, the characters, everything, the art style, the whole thing was just so good. And the best part is I remember when it came out in the United States and it was released for just $20. And kind of building on that, really anything that's kind of quirky and Japanese like that, I really do enjoy. But for me, hidden gems are always something I'm always looking out for. I probably have a selection of hidden gems on almost every platform out there. But I think just to keep it simple and short, I'll probably just go with some Katamari. It's one that just came to my mind immediately.
Yeah, man, Katamari is awesome. It's one of those series that when you discover it and learn what the gameplay's like, you instantly fall in love. And then the super weird cutscenes and story are just a constant source of delight and confusion. Ooh, not many names left. Oh, hey, look at that. Hi, Retro Breeze.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, aren't you just a proper gentleman? I bet you got a good hidden gem for us.
My favorite retro game hidden gem is the Empire of Steel on the Mega Drive, also known as Steel Empire in the US. This is a side-scrolling shooter in which you can shoot forwards or backwards or use a lightning bomb to clear all the enemies on screen, although you're going to want to save those for the final boss. This game has amazing steampunk pixel graphics along with an excellent military soundtrack, but what really makes it stand out is its silent storytelling. Every level in this game starts in the same way, so that you get used to it. But then on level 5, something happens that changes the entire flow of the game. And it's actually pretty tragic when you think about it. Now I say this is a hidden gem, but actually it's had remakes on Game Boy Advance, Nintendo 3DS, and now it's been ported to Switch and Steam as well. There's also a special edition coming out that comes with all the different versions all bundled together on Nintendo Switch. But if you want the really authentic experience, definitely play the Mega Drive version.
Oh my god, look at the freaking graphics in that game! Empire of Steel, huh? I'm definitely gonna have to check that out. And not least, but certainly last, we have Zoo. Oh man, I forgot Zoo was here.
Hey, what's crappinin'?
Oh, all sorts of stuff. Mostly hidden gem stuff right now, to be honest. What about you?
I was one of those kids who got sucked in to Dragon Warrior when it came free with Nintendo Power. Flash forward to around 2002, and I saw Dragon Quest VII at Giant Eagle in their Eagle video section. This game has pacing issues out the wazoo. It takes you 4 hours to get to the first combat. 4 hours! Then it takes another full day to get to the temple where you can change your classes. I don't mean, I played for 6 hours and went to bed. I mean a full 24 more hours. This came out after the PlayStation 2 released, and it has like 16-bit sprite. It's not like Breath of Fire 3 or 4 where it's sprites on the PlayStation, but they're really good sprites. It's 32-bit sprites. These are 16-bit Super Nintendo sprites on a PlayStation game. So Zoo, how is this a hidden gem? I'll tell you. Because in 2016, it came out for the Nintendo 3DS. I don't know who made the call to make this a Western port, but God bless them, because it takes every single defect in the original and fixes it. This is really well suited to a portable handheld because it has a bunch of little vignettes. And I don't mean that fancy Italian dressing that your mom uses on her salads. I mean little short stories. You start out on a little island, and it's the only island in the world. Everything's peaceful and great, except something's weird. But you find a tablet, and when you look at that tablet, it sends you to a secret world, and you solve a mystery there, and you come back to your world, and lo and behold, a new island has appeared. So what do you do then? You just keep doing that loop over and over and over again, and it's really rewarding, and each one of these little locales has kind of a unique story, a unique Dragon Quest charm, all the stuff you'd come to expect from Dragon Quest, but in a little portable package for your bite-sized gaming. You get about 150 hours out of one single game for your 3DS. It's ideally suited for portability. It fixes probably one of the worst Dragon Quest games in the entire 11-game series, and it's a hidden gem. So this is my hidden gem for you, Mr. TechDweeb. Say hi to your mom. Don't drink too much root beer. It'll give you a bellyache. All right, we'll see you later.
I'll take my chances. And that's it. That's the hidden gems that you get today from all your favorite nerds in the retro emulation world. I would like to thank my guests for being here, sharing their nerdy wisdom with us. I'm sorry to those that I had to trim down your answers if they were little long. I'll have links to all these amazing channels in the doodad below. Definitely check them out. And now it's your turn. Let's hear your answer. Do you have any retro hidden gems that you want us to check out? And while you're down there, you might as well subscribe because there are 100% going to be more videos in this series coming very soon. And that's it from us for today. Thanks for watching. Don't lick your handhelds. Bye-bye.